We'll try again, shall we? Isn't life grand? Technology, thank you. All right, I'm back. Turned out I was probably talking for myself in the last video for about 10 minutes. It's really great. I had so much amazing wisdom to share. So that sucks. Oh, dearie me. So, take two. So, what I was doing was how to do lockdown really well. I think what I got through in the first video before it cut out was I talked about focusing on health and building immune system. I then got into feeling feelings and the benefits and the great situation that is now, where we're also got a little less reasons to distract ourselves or run away and hide from our feelings. So it's awesome. So then what I got into, all the things that I was talking about that didn't get recorded in the last video, I was talking about the opportunities right now to be able to reach out and connect with others. So as much as we're calling it social distancing, I'm finding it's quite the opposite. In fact, I'm actually thinking it's more physical distancing, but with the beautiful devices that we've got, Facebook video chatting, FaceTiming, WhatsApp, just general, the good old fashioned dial a phone number in the phone. There's I've probably spent more time connecting with others over the last week and a bit than what I would typically do. I had a fun group chat with family members on Saturday night. So my brother, sister-in-law, his kids, my sister who was out walking her dog, and my mum, we were all chatting in the one space, and it was great. It was good fun. Yesterday afternoon, I poured myself a glass of Prosecco and jumped online with a couple of girlfriends. And aside from it all being online, it was no different to us all catching up. That one went for over 3 hours. Yeah, we chat a lot when we catch up. So much to my husband's amazement. So the beauty, of course, in this lockdown is that we're not out and about doing all those things. So we do have more time to connect, and we've got lots and lots of means to connect. So whether you're loving the social isolation side of things, or whether you're struggling with, the physical distancing that we're having to do right now, is that there are ways to connect with people. So reach out. For the most part, myself included, I've got more times on my hand than what I would normally to, spending time just chatting. So this is a great opportunity, and very much so this is a time to check in with people, see how they're going, and just let them know that we're all in this. We're all in this together. So yes. Next point on how to do lockdown well. So use this time to focus on what is important. So I think I mentioned in the last Facebook Live that I did earlier in the week is that, like it or not, we've pretty much all been thrown into a required life coaching session. So whether your work has been taken away from you, whether your income has adjusted, whether you've lost your job altogether, or there's just the uncertainty of, how long this goes for, or could I potentially get sick? Could I potentially have loved ones get sick? There's a lot. There's a lot to consider. So in times like this, we get to sort of focus on, well, what's really important. And it's a beautiful exercise to do is to actually work out, well, what is important to me? What are my priorities in this changed landscape at the minute? Where do I want to be spending my time and energy? So, one of the things that a lot of us are doing is turning to things like Netflix and, catching up on series that we haven't yet watched. Now, that's great. But that being said, if I actually consider, well, what's really important to me, watching Netflix isn't important to me. Yes, it's fun. Yes, it's a bit of a distraction, but it doesn't necessarily enhance my life, my well-being, or any of the things that are actually important to me. So it's great to have the opportunity to sit down and focus on what's important to me, so that when I am deciding how I want to spend my time during this lockdown period, I can use that as a little bit of a guidance or a criteria that I run things past. So my what's important list, my top 4 is my health, my family and friends, connection. This is terrible. I can normally run through these really quickly off the top of my head, but effectively, if a task that I'm looking at spending time doing, or something that I'm looking at putting my energy into, doesn't assist or improve or help with any of those things that are important to me, well, then I know that, I'm opting to do something that isn't beneficial for me and my well-being ultimately. So, and I'm not going to judge myself and make myself wrong for it, but just acknowledge that that's actually what I'm choosing to do if I'm going to sit there and binge watch season after season of a particular show. So whatever you need, you do what's right for you and what feels right. And that being said, if we know what's important to us or what's beneficial, then we also can acknowledge and be responsible, have my self-responsibility around the choices that I'm making and what benefits or detriments that's going to potentially do for me. I forever talking about focus on what it is that we want. So there is a lot of fear going on, for all the reasons that I've already articulated. There's ways that I can look at this. I can go, this is the end of the world. It's the apocalypse. It's horrible. We're all going to die from this virus. Or if I want to go down the conspiracy lines, it's because 5G is being implemented and we're all going to get mandatory vaccinations with tracking devices and control mechanisms. So I can choose to focus on all of that. And by all means, at certain times I do look at these different scenarios just out of interest's sake. Or on the flip side, I can focus on, well, this is an amazing time that I get to get through my personal to-do list for things at home. I can connect with better people with less time constraints, and that I have got time to consider my health, make different choices, connect with others, and feel my feelings, therefore improving my emotional health and well-being, and improving all the various things that happen when we're happy to face and own our pleasant and unpleasant feelings. And I kind of think if we're all to do this on a global scale, that ultimately the world will be a better place for having had this situation that is a little unpleasant, a little frustrating, particularly for us who like to control things or be able to plan what we're doing in the next few weeks. I've had numerous discussions with people, work colleagues, friends, family about, well, this could be the Great Reset. This could be where we come out the other side and life isn't the way it was pre this situation, where we make choices that are better aligned for our environment and the earth, and our health and well-being. physical, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So, you know, I am very much the eternal optimist. I don't deny that. And I love contemplating the fact that, yeah, maybe the world does operate differently, in greater alignment with all beings on the planet moving forward. So I do this just because that's the way that I've kind of always been built, but also knowing that what we focus on is what we get. So, yep, choose to focus on the doom and gloom, that's fine, but I know when I'm choosing to do that versus focusing on how I want things to be. And I'm very much conscious of when I'm doing each of those, and choosing to go and focus on how I want things to be predominantly. And that has the benefit of, first of all, it assists my emotional health. And look, if you want to go all quantum theory, there is a lot to be said on how we can actually impact our reality and how this actually does realistically play out for us. Is that what I focus on, the thoughts and the energies that I put towards that, from a quantum perspective, we can start to actually change how this goes. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. And owning that, yeah. All right, so finally, how to do lockdown well. Target our to-do list. I have an exhaustive list of things to get done around here. You'll notice some empty boxes behind me. So my intention is to get through my cupboards and declutter, minimize, work out what things I'm keeping, what things are going to the op shop, what things are getting discarded altogether. So I have got like 10 VHS videos that I've been intending to watch and either get the snippets off those and recorded for prosperity, or tossing them out, because the truth is I'm never going to watch them again. So I've got that's been on my to-do list forever. So yeah, actually getting shit done. So it's actually exciting to think that I'll actually get some of those things taken off my to-do list altogether. So also, that is an exhaustive long to-do list. I've got a lot of things that I want to accomplish business-wise, and it's very easy to be a bit overcome by all of the things that I do want to focus on and get done. So what I like to do is either at the beginning of the week, which is useful, is to actually come up with top 3 things that I would like to achieve this week. I call that my achieve list. And just each day picking one of those things to get it done and see it out from beginning through to completion. I'm very prone to starting something and then going, oh, something else over here, oh, distraction over there, and sort of jumping around, and then ultimately getting to the end of the day and going, well, I just accomplished nilda, because I've only partially completed things instead of one full thing. It is nice to chop and change when I need to, just to keep my interests up. However, I do want to get to the end of the day or the end of the week and actually say, all right, reflect back and go, this is what I accomplished. So at the beginning of the week, this is what I didn't have done. Now it's the end of the week, this is what I have got done. And what that does is also helps with things like self-esteem and confidence, and those feel-good hormones, because we get that level of satisfaction that we're actually progressing and we're getting something done. Yeah, very, very useful. Okay, one last point on my how to do lockdown well. So there is a lot of talk about, okay, so we're changing from a doing world into an opportunity to be a being world. Okay, and that all sounds good and well, but what the hell does that mean? And so for me, the concept of being as opposed to doing is a couple of things. So we live in a doing based world. It's always about, well, what are you doing? What have you achieved? After I've just talked about the achievement section. Whereas being is more coming from a place about, well, who am I being in the moment? Am I able to be me and just sit with whatever the feelings are that come up? So definitely from a being perspective, sitting with our feelings and just acknowledging them and acknowledging what perhaps the thought patterns or the stories are that are then affecting the feelings or causing them potentially. Or what story am I making my feelings actually mean? Okay, they go both ways. So being is also sitting with and actually going, what do I feel like doing? Do I feel like tackling the VHS project? Or do I feel like jumping online and doing a Facebook Live right now? Okay. I used to be very structured and sort of have a schedule, go, right, on Wednesdays, that's when I'm going to do my Facebook Live. However, since acknowledging that I want to be more being than perhaps doing, is that come Wednesday, if I'm not feeling like doing a Facebook Live, I'm not going to do it. Okay. Because I'm acknowledging my being and just seeing where my being, wants to spend time. What's it feeling called to work on? Okay. Some days I feel called to just reflect and write, or for parts of a day. Okay. I might have some inspiration come through. I'm just like, all right, I'm feeling to write in my journal. Okay, let's do that. Meal. Good girl. Just be quiet. Yeah, so being quiet enough to actually contemplate and observe, what is it that I want to be doing? Okay, asking myself, what do I most need right now? Okay, sometimes that is to sit on the couch and binge watch Netflix. Okay, that might be what my being needs. Yeah. It might be those creative urges. I might feel the need to get my Derwent pencils or my paints out, and just put some color on the paper and see what comes up. It's a really lovely opportunity in this lockdown to experiment with our being. Give ourselves the time and the space to check in and actually see what it is that my being wants to do. So it's not so much about not doing anything, although that is beneficial too, but checking in and seeing where I'm feeling into what I want to be doing. Okay. I have created a cool little, and call it the Joy Planner or the Joy Practice. Joy Daily Practice, and that is actually guiding and giving a bit of guidance with how to do this being side of things, because I know for myself, historically, it's all been do. What do I need to get done today? And focusing on tasks. The dog's going nuts about noise outside at the minute. So I think that's it. I've broken this up over 2 videos. I'm a little bit miffed as to why things keep dropping out. But anyway, I need to get that rectified. Yes. Oh, yeah. So the Joy Planner, that will be, depending on what I feel like doing this week, will be made available on my website either this week. I'm thinking more likely next week. Just We'll see. I like to give myself decent deadlines as well. So, um, but yeah, so if that's of interest to you, let me know and I'll make that link available to you once it's up and running. Um, yeah, so they're my lockdown tips. What are yours? What things are you finding are working for you? I know a lot of you guys have kids and you're potentially doing lockdown over school holidays or lockdown with having to school your young ones. I don't have any advice on that. I'm not going to speak to that. But if there's anyone here who is in the throes of that, put it in the group and we'll see if there's others there that want to answer to it. I'm seeing some fantastic shares on Facebook also with lots and lots of resources being shared around in that space. So that's really cool. All right. So, with heart and soul, enjoy your lockdown. For those of you that are not yet in lockdown, I hope you're going well as well with all the uncertainty. It is crazy. As I said earlier, no one's really getting away with being unscathed from the situation at the minute. So, alrighties. Thank you for listening. I don't even know where the hang up button is. Oh, there it is. All right. Thank you. Bye.